reviews anything.
Reviewing computer parts on YouTube.
Woo! Gotta be pumped on that, right, Will? Computer parts! Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Woo! How's it going, guys? My name's Timmy Joe, making videos about computers all up on the internet, and today we're doing something I've been dreading to do. Because when it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when you're working your Threadripper out of the original Dark Base Pro, and I think that might be my least favorite case of all time, it just it really doesn't make sense. It's not overly quiet. It's not a very good case for Be Quiet, and they've revamped it since and put a basement and stuff like that. Maybe it got better, but in its form that I had it over there, I just really didn't like it. In order to have a good AIO and a good position in it, you had to take all the hard drive holders out, and it didn't really even fit a 360 mil rad for whatever I can tell. It's the biggest case ever. Like it's monstrous, and I'm going to be bringing a pretty big case up here in just a second. So it's time to move on, and my friends at Enermax always have some pretty amazing products using their LickTech cooler in it, and they actually have a new version of this that I've been using that it works not just for Threadripper, but it actually has a different block and stuff too that I'm going to be doing a little review on later. But they sent me a whole whack of stuff here to do a build, and some of it we can use and some of it we can't. But let's get to the star of the show. What I think might be the perfect computer case. This here is the Saberay Advance from Enermax, the Saberay, okay? And we'll go over some reasons why, okay, real quick. It is very versatile as far as I can tell with different configurations. You can put a 360 mil rad up top if you want. Mesh panel, but what's really cool is this front panel comes off too. Boop! And get this green tape off of there. Look at this. You can take this, and this is a see-through panel. It's just got some plastic on it to protect it. And it actually comes with a second mesh panel that you can put in the front there, but we'll just use the one that's not in a plastic bag. And so you can have a meshed inlet, which is just awesome, with three 120 mil fans. So now you have a super nice intake. So it's got loads of room, like a big solid inch up here to put fans that can go through that mesh panel. Big pet peeve of mine is when you have to put a glass panel on, some little rubber grommets, and then screw 4 pieces in. Not with this baby. Push down, one-handed release. Oh my God, this is super awesome. There's these little like piston feet at the bottom that actually have springs in them that allow you to just put that back on one-handed like. It's a revolution. It's an amazing piece of engineering, and it's so damn simple, and somebody should have thought of it a million years ago. I know that there are some cases that do that, like the Inwins and stuff like that. So inside we can put a 360 mil rad here. Here it's got like some really nice, they call them SquA fans, square fans. Here we go. And they sent me along 3 more of them to pop up in this system, so we're going to have a beautiful RGB color wheel. And then they sent me a 650 watt power supply that most certainly won't be enough to power this system, and I was originally using an FSP 1200 watt in this system, but it's kind of overkill because I don't plan on doing any SLI or Crossfire in this case. It's just got a Radeon 7. It actually pulls like 700 watts from the wall. So my gracious friend Aaron was over at Micro Center and saw G.Skill apparently makes power supplies. And there's an 850 watt Platinum Edition G.Skill Ripjaw PSU that we're going to be using on the old Threadripper today. So we'll have a look at this in this build. Pretty nice. And then what comes with the Saberay Advanced is actually one of these tank stands, which is a monitor stand that it's just a pretty cool little accessory, a little present for buying a case from Enermax, which is pretty cool. And we'll have a look at this later too, sure. But it comes with a monitor stand. Like, whoever thought of that? A case that comes with a monitor stand. And then, of course, it's got addressable RGB built into these front like white pieces, these strips here. It's got USB-C on the top. It pretty much checks all the boxes. You can intake from or out, or intake from the top and exit out. There's like a see there's fan holes right here in the case, so you can do like an in-win, in or out there. Take the back off here. So, nice solid construction, but there is a lot of plastic. Like all this is plastic, nothing's metal there, but like, what case really has metal except for like a few good brands do that. But it has addressable RGB controller here. It's got a fan hub. It's got spots for 2 SSDs. It's got spots for 2 3.5-inch hard drives. It's got a really big basement for the power supply that's got a shield on it. This is a pretty nice case. We're gonna go ahead and rubber grommets. We're gonna build in it, and we're gonna get my Threadripper system in what will likely be its permanent home for a long, long time. So let's go ahead and get rolling on this build. Go ahead and queue up a thing where I make music and computers, and then we'll, talk about the build. Woo! Okie dokie, we are back. I'm always a little apprehensive moving my editing computer over to a new case because you never know what's going to happen. But it seems as though with the aid of the Saber, things all plugged in and worked just fine. So I'm happy about that. And it was just a wonderful experience to build in this case. It's definitely very, very nice and on the complete opposite end of the Darkbase Pro 900, which I definitely was not a fan of. And this is almost as big. It's a little bit smaller footprint, but it handles the extended ATX board. And this is a Saberay Advance. So there are a couple of different versions we can talk about. There is the original Saberay, which came with their older LED ring fans or something like that. So it still has RGB and stuff, but it doesn't have addressable RGB like this one. It's just solid colors. And they upgraded it. I think that one's around 160. So exact same, case for the most part. Less the you have to actually screw the glass in. And I love this. So this is a feature well worth it in my opinion. But the original Saberay just had the 4 screws in the glass, and the white version has these fans, but doesn't have a few of the extra features like the easy to put on glass and stuff like that. The white one looks really, really good. I saw it at CES, but it's then there is the Advanced, which is the newest iteration of this, which comes with their square fans or SquA RGB fans. They sent me another 3 of them, so in total there's 6 in here, and it comes with its own fan controller and addressable RGB controller. So I have all of these fans plugged into the case, powering it, which is usually kind of a no-no, but I'll show you why it's actually cool in just a second. I also have all of the addressable lighting plugged into the controller that came with the case, so I can go up here and press one button and start switching around, how this thing looks, which is pretty cool. And then there's actually a button to change the brightness of the LEDs, which is very, very cool. So there's 3 stages of that. So if you have your computer in your bedroom or something like that, you can put it on ultra low at night and then make her shine in the daytime. And it doesn't have like a whole whack of effects. That's where plugging it into your motherboard might be a better idea. But as is, I actually like to use the case, when you're reviewing it, use the case's LED functions to see how well they work, and it works half decently. And then the one thing that this thing has, which actually is really cool, and it makes me want to have the case controlling all the fans, is there is a button to change, listen, a little louder, change the fan speed. So I have all 6 of the SquA fans plugged into that, and if I'm, overclocking or doing a long render, I can press that one button and it'll go higher. It's probably a better idea to plug all of the fans into the motherboard. That way, it would be possible. They're not some sort of proprietary fans or anything like that. Although I think it would be hard to plug the strips on the, there might be a way to do it, but the strips had a proprietary plug for like this stuff here. Yeah, awesome with the advance on how you can do that with one hand. I love that. It's super, super versatile, this case. Like, I think this might be my favorite case of all time. And I was thinking it might be, but with how versatile it is and how decent it is, it's really hard to find anything wrong with it. So we'll go over a few things that I think are wrong, and then we'll go over a whole bunch of reasons why I really, really like it. So this plastic is kind of flimsy and not the most premium feeling, but it's plastic. It could be a little bit, I don't know, more rigid or something, or feel a little more premium, but I don't think it's much to worry about. And although it's an awesome feature that these come out, these they're pretty flimsy. And this top one isn't really kind of sitting right when I put it in here. But, that's not the biggest deal. It just kind of seems like it's sticking up a bit here, and I'm sure I could bend it so it doesn't do that. Not a big deal. So what else is negative? The power supply shroud's kind of naked. I put this little Enermax bouton there, little magnet that the case actually came with, just to add some flavor to the bottom. It would be cool if there was a cutout so you could see your power supply, but that's not necessarily something that everyone wants. So all of the versatile things here, let's name them. So I love the way the glass goes on. I love the way you can take these panels out, and it comes with 2 mesh ones and 1 acrylic one, which still have the plastic on it. That's why it looks funky. So if you wanted to, completely, do a kind of a normal case flow, you could put this one up top, and then you're not going to have your fans blowing out the top. Everything's going to have to go out the back, where it's intaking through one of these in the front. Or if you want to intake from the back panel, which is pretty cool, I'll show you that. Here, we'll get this stuffed in there. You could put this in the front, and the fans wouldn't be doing much because there are fans pre-installed there. But and then you could intake from the back here through the case, kind of like an InWin 303. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing that, or you could outtake, I guess, through there too, if you wanted to do something weird and funky. Intake from the top and blow out the back. I don't know, you could do a bunch of different configurations, but I like that option is there. Now, I don't actually like the way it looks inside with that like cross pattern where the 2 fans would go, but you don't have, like, the AIO is hiding most of that. So it's not really a big deal to me that it's there, but it's kind of ugly because it's a bunch of see-through, spots in the back of the casing that lets you see, some of your cables. But speaking of cables, huge room for cable management, and as long as you kind of do it right, could use another spot for, you'd think with this big a case you'd have at least 3.5 inch hard drive bays in the bottom here. They probably could have done that. It might have been a little bit of tight, or they might have had to have brought the PSU shroud up just a bit more, but not a big deal. Most people aren't using huge 3.5 inch, anyways. There's spot for 2 SSDs in the back, and it looks like you could plug SSDs through that hex hole for the intake going through the back panel. And also, big deal for a lot of people, you can put an optical drive at the top here. And they did that without, making it look ultra nerdy. So, I don't know, there's lots of room at the top here. You could have put the AIO at the top, so there's room for a 360 rad at the top or in the back. This would be a great water cooling case because you could secure your pump to that cross pattern where the, you know, there's loads of options with this case, and it's hard to find really much to say bad about it. It's got foam here but that the glass presses against to kind of create some soundproofing, which is pretty cool. I love the way that door goes on. Again, that's only on the Advance. I think the Advance is going to be priced north of $200. The white version is $200. The non-addressable RGB original Saber A is around $160 on Newegg right now. I think that this is going to be like $240. And it came with this crazy monitor stand. So this is like a free gift that you get. Now, I don't know how many people will actually use this, but you can plop your monitor on top of there. It also folds in like this if you want a little smaller footprint. And it has little drawers, one to put your smartphone, one to store all your USB keys, and that comes with the case. That's really cool. I think you can buy it separately too, but I don't know, tank stand. It's very, very strong, sturdy, so you can put a big fat monitor on it. Hides your keyboard underneath it. I think that's pretty cool. That's a value-added bonus of at least the Advance. I don't know about the white version, but I don't know. All in all, very, very solid case from Enermax. I really like where they're going. It's all good. So I'm at Watch Timmy Joe, Instagram and Twitter. I want to thank Enermax for sending their Saber A Advance for me to have a look at, and a couple of their SquA RGB fans. I like the look of these fans. They, you know, they're different. You know, they're just fans. So, you know, nothing too special, but at the same time, they're a little different because they're that square look, and they look really cool from the back side. They look like they're all perforated and interesting from the back. So a couple different ways, options on how they look, you know, depending on how the intake and outtake are going. But all in all, this has like checks all the boxes, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it the first annual Timmy Joe Super Awesome Versatile Case of the Year award because I like it that much. It's awesome. I'd sorely recommend it. I'll leave links in the description to the Saber A's that are available on Amazon. And I don't know, this should come in, you know, I'll put some information in when this is coming out for retail, because this just came to market, this exact one, the advanced one, but you can buy the non-advanced versions and the white versions right now on Newegg and stuff like that in Amazon. So I watched Timmy Joe Instagram, Twitter. Thanks. Big awesome case, and I'm having a real happy time with it, saying, you know, thanks to Enermax, this will greatly improve the quality of my computer, my editing rig, and how it was sitting in that Darkbase Pro. It was I had a Jimmy rigged with a bunch of their hard drives just sitting on the bottom of it. Now it's all proper, and it's all special thanks to the Saber A. So yeah, I watched Timmy Joe Instagram and Twitter. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a review of the Saber A Advanced, and I'll see you guys in another video.